My name is Jonathan Holden. I am a teacher at the Nathan Hale School in Roxbury, Massachusetts, and I teach 4th grade. The Nathan Hale School, it's a small school. It's a Boston public school in Roxbury, which is near Dudley Square, where Malcolm X actually grew up. It's a diverse group of people in this area. And because we're a small school, I think we can take quick steps to really get kids the best education we can provide.
Sea monsters, all right. What do you like about it?
I read all the time. I'm grateful for my parents and some very good teachers who kept me reading constantly, allowed me to read during dinner, allowed me to read on the bus, allowed me to read, even sometimes when I wasn't supposed to. And it just opened up so many worlds to me and developed a lot of thinking skills and creative skills that I've sort of drawn on for the rest of my life.
Did anyone get pulled into their books today? Did anyone just sort of get right in them? It's almost like nothing else is going on around you?
In my classroom, professionally, I try to instill that same love of reading in my students.
This morning, I have a poem.
But now we're starting a poetry unit, and we're going to stay with that for a few weeks until we publish. So they'll generate bunches and bunches of poems.
It depends what kind of poem. Like if it's like a silly poem, then it makes you feel like silly and stuff.
I can make a lot of connections, and I can ask a lot of questions, and I like certain poems.
I've been learning how to break things up and how the feeling is in the poetry and the stanzas that you feel and how it changes.
I'm going to pass the poem out now. I just want you to take a look at it, just for a minute. Then we're going to read it together. And then what you're going to do is you're going to make a little column. Things you like, things you dislike, puzzles, and connections. Puzzles is kind of confusing. Who else can you ask? If there's something in the poem that's puzzling you, who can you ask today?
Your neighbor.
Your neighbor. That's the perfect idea, Devon. You're going to write down that question and that puzzle, and you're going to say, hey, you know what was kind of making me confused? Was this. What do you think? Maybe you can help me answer that question. And that's a perfect example of a puzzle. It's a question.
The puzzles is really the part where they're making sort of questions for other people to talk about. And that way they start the discussion, and they can really sort of take each other to another level of understanding.
Last touch. I tap my brother's shoulder. Last touch, I shout. Slam the door. Race outside. We weave through Gorman's apple trees laughing. He catches me. Last touch. I chase him to the house, to the bathroom where he locks the door. I can make a connection right now. After lunch, George and Mother head downtown in the car. I reach through the open window. Last touch. George's face is a thundercloud. Before bed, we brush our teeth. I calculate last touch for the day and tap him on the head with a laugh as he heads off with Mother for a story. He breaks from her grasp and pounds me with his fist. Mother yells, "Stop it, you two, this minute. I declare the game over, and that's it." Write down your thoughts, your likes, your dislikes, your connections, and your puzzles right now, please.
I think the majority of students in my class need discussion to get them excited about the story and to get them to rethink what they've done.
What do you like about it? Don't talk to me. Go ahead. Stephen.
And a discussion, the ultimate and natural way to think about that. You walk out of a movie, you say, what happened? You know, I didn't get this part. And you talk about it with your friend. You say, well, maybe this was the part. And books are the same way. And when you talk to someone about it, sometimes it opens little doors and makes you want to either read it again or reread it, or just continue reading it.
Did you read? See, it says Mother Hill. It says Mother Hill. Stop it here this minute.
He breaks from the grasp and he pounds with his fist. Mother Hill, stop it a minute. And I declare this game is over.
Yeah,
That's it.
because they were was your mom like you and the other brother fighting? No,
I wish most of the questions would come from the children, because that means they're developing their own understanding at a much faster rate. And when they come from me, it's nice to challenge them, but the greatest thing is when kids are asking questions and they're challenging each other to think and they're responding.
Yeah, my puzzle. Like, why did they start? Why did they start?
Why did they even start the game when they knew they were gonna fight at the end?
I think
in the literature I select, in the stories and poems, they have to have not only a skill or something specific that makes them good literature, but also maybe a message in them that the kids can relate to, and they can say, hey, that happened to me.
I have a connection. My connection is that me and my cousin, we used to play this game called Touchies, right? What you do is like, because it starts funny though, because you could be sitting at the table eating or something, and then she just go like that, and then you're supposed to call Touchies. And have you ever played that? No. Y'all never played Touchies? Oh my God. Okay, anyway, touchies, what you do is you touch somebody, right? And then it ends, but we always used to...
I think it's incredibly important for kids to see themselves in the literature, because when they make that connection, it really helps them develop a mental image of what they're reading, and that right there shows they have comprehension or understanding of what they're reading. Without that connection, oftentimes they're not going to get a strong image, and they're not going to get that connection. And without that connection, their interest is going to decline. And if their interest declines, their understanding declines, which is the whole point of reading.
Everyone, please bring your papers up to the rug for our discussion.
I think questions are an important part of the learning process because they make you think, and they take you beyond where you are. If you read something, you're taking it quite literally. It's sort of like you're on the first floor. But when you have those questions, you know, all of a sudden you realize, hey, this is not a one-story building. This might be 3 or 4 or even 100 stories tall, and there's a whole new area to explore.
After lunch, George and Mother head downtown to the car. In the car, I reached through the open window. Last touch, George's face is a thundercloud.
George's face is a thundercloud. Is his face really a thundercloud? Give me a hands up, please. Tell me what George is. George's face. I know he's not. There's something going on. What is going on?
He's like probably mad.
Say it again.
Probably mad.
Why would he be mad?
Probably because he probably didn't want to go downtown with his mother.
Ooh. Is that why he's mad?
No.
Why is George's brother mad? Or George. Is it George? George. It's George. Why is George so mad? Clemaine, think about it. Any ideas? No? Let's see if someone else can help you out. Luz?
I think George is mad because his brother reached to the window and he got his last touch and he was all mad.
And he was mad, and he is beyond mad, isn't he? He's really mad. His face is a thundercloud. That's something, that's hinting. Is that hinting something good's going to happen? No. Or something bad?
Bad.
We'll see. It seems like things are getting tense here. Third stanza, please. Why don't you read that for me? A lot of expression, please, Shakira.
Particularly when we're discussing poetry and there's differences in opinions, I think that's fabulous because a lot of times children have a take on a poem that might be a little different, and kids are saying, well, no, I don't think that's right because, and then they're all referencing the text and looking back and debating it and talking about it, and they say, oh, well, I guess that maybe this is it, or maybe it could be this. And all the possibilities open up. And so, you know, it's instead of one road, you're looking at many that kids can choose from. And they're going to choose what seems to make the most sense. And those are all important skills.
Do you think the game's going to start again? Yeah. Then raise your hand if you think the game will start the next day again. Okay, put your hands down. Interesting.
I think it's important for every child to have a voice in my classroom so that they know that they can participate. Because they do have a voice. They have thought. And when we develop it and strengthen it, you get, from every child, you find that really wonderful things start to come out. In this classroom, the kids are writing every single day. I think writing it's an integral part of the day. It goes hand in hand with the reading. Writing's a chance every single day to get their thoughts on paper and organize them.
When I'm reading sometime, I just get an image and then I write it down, and then during writing time, I take some of those images and make it into a story form.
It's so important for the kids to understand that writing a poem is just a slice of your life. It is just a piece of your emotions coming out on the paper. And once they get the hang of that, that makes an enormous connection to the writing, and everything can start to come out and bubble forth.
I'm going to read you a story, and we're going to start a quick activity. And this story is very exciting. I got this book, and when I picked it up, I couldn't believe, some of you already peeked at it, I couldn't believe what it was about. Has anyone ever heard of a poetry slam? A poetry slam. Slam makes you think of like a wrestling, a body slam, or throwing something down. Boom. A poetry slam, dunking a ball.
Poetry slams, like they put words all squished together.
They squish words. You know what? They do have to squish words together. A poetry slam, they have poetry slams in the city. And what happens is poets and people who want to be poets get together. And they have to come up with their own poems and rhymes and rhythms on the spot. And we're going to do that today. But let me read you the story to give you an idea. Hey, you. Come here. A poetry slam. Banging on a garbage can, bam, bam, bam. Maddie says it's time for a poetry slam. Everybody's talking poems, everybody's laughing poems. Sis is eating poems.
During the poetry slam, the first thing I thought I would do is model it. I had to read a little slice of that book to show how you can use sounds and just very descriptive words to come up with a quick poem. And then my role is to get them excited about it.
But there's no time to cry, guys. Get into the summer mood, and it is almost summer. Summer. Summer sounds. Concrete and heat. Sneakered feet on tar. Stepping on a melted candy bar. Squish, crunch, crunch. Gravel on the street. Whoosh. Hydrant, waterfall. Zzz. The sun's an orange basketball. Bonk, bonk.
I don't like the song kind of because when you get sweaty,
What?
the flags start coming out.
Well, that would be a good poem right there. That right there are the words from a poem. That's like a slam. I don't like the summer. The flies start coming out. You get all sweaty on your back. That sounds like a poem. Just put some rhythm in it, and it's done.
With the poetry slam, it's a quick way to get them writing about a topic, and you're getting all those immediate reactions, and you get those valuable sort of insights right off the bat.
I need someone who's quiet to be my first person to select. Okay, let me have Natea. Select one out of the deck.
Recess.
Recess. Ready? In 5, in 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Any thoughts?
And I give them strict time limits so that they push themselves and they don't sit there and get sort of caught in a rut. Just sort of put it down on paper as quick as you can. Pick a topic and go. And see what happens. And those are the most valuable poems that you usually come up with. And my job is to go around and make sure everyone's focused in writing, which they were definitely today. And then afterwards, it's to moderate the discussion. And I want it to keep it positive.
Pushing and shoving, yelling across the hoop. Noise fills the air, playing, screaming, bang, boom, the play structure. Balls hit the hoop, you're it. People yell, and there's always a he did it and she did it first.